All right, guys. So we're back with another Funded Trader interview. We're here with Brandon. Welcome to the Funded Trader interview, Brandon.
Thank you. Feels good to be here.
Oh, yeah. So, guys, for those that don't know, this is the Funded Trader. We fund serious traders with our capital to trade with. You go through a two-step evaluation to get started. And then once you make it through the evaluation, you get your funded account. So, Brandon is currently funded. He's trading on his 100K account right now. We're going to get into the details a little bit, but I guess just start us off. What is your name and where are you from?
Well, my name is Brandon Boyd. I was born and raised in Dallas, Texas. I'm married with three beautiful kids, 7, 6, and 5. A lot of people think they're triplets. So,
So
so I
every
get that
every
question all
year,
the time.
my Brandon's getting busy out here every year.
Listen, I'm
You
done. I'm done. I am done. No more.
got to get more funded accounts, man.
Yeah, that's my goal because they eat a lot. So
What are you doing? So what are you doing for your career right now?
right now, I actually work for a title company. I'm a title researcher. I actually work from home. So it
Nice.
actually works out great with trading too, because I can do both at the same time.
Yeah,
So
when
right
did
now I'm
you
doing that.
when did you get in like with trading and everything? When did you get started?
I actually started about a year and a half ago. Um, when I first started, it was very mesmerizing. I don't know what I was looking at. It just looked like a straight, just everything was just confusing about it.
Right.
So,
It's like
but
the Matrix.
yeah, it was like the Matrix. I'm just like, what in the world am I looking at?
Yeah. So you pretty much got started during COVID or around that time. That's when a lot of the funded traders that we've done have actually gotten started in that time frame. So were you working, in that period of time when you started, or
Yeah.
what kind of went on?
Yes, I was still actually working. Good thing my job didn't lay off. I was actually working for Dallas County, so
Okay.
they wasn't laying off. My job was secure, and I was grateful to God for that. But I was just looking. Once I got into forex, I was looking. I'm like, man, do I want to stay in this career or do I want to do something better? Do I want to achieve more? Do I want to be more? And I
Mm,
can't do that staying in my comfort zone. So I was like, let me get in my comfort zone. Let me try something different because you never know where life will lead you unless you take a chance.
right. And how did you kind of get started? Like, were you on Instagram? Like, what kind of got you involved and got you into it?
I was on Instagram and I saw a lot of traders, making 20,000 and 30,000, 50,000, some even 200,000. I'm just like, bro, if I can just if I can just make I was mesmerized, but I'm just like, are these people actually making this? And then, of course, some things on Instagram are fake, and I give it that. But you can tell when some people are actually real. Just looking at them like, if they can do it, man, I know I can do it. So let me just give this a try, and we're gonna go for it.
Yeah, that's the best attitude. That's kind of when I got into it. It was like, okay, if someone is legitimately doing this, there's got to be a way that I can figure this out. When you got started, did you know about like prop firms? Did you know they existed, or when did you kind of find out about the prop firm space?
I found out about it earlier this year.
Okay.
I was dealing with. I saw FTMO. Never signed up, but I was just doing their little free trials to see how I would do. In a sense, if I was actually to actually try it out. Then I
Mm,
got into another prop firm. No names will be mentioned.
right.
Um,
We know.
I'm glad that I'm, I'm glad that didn't work out for me. But I came across you all, and when I came across you, I was like, man, these people they seem very very legit. So let me give this a try. It was just I don't know what it was about it. I guess it was just the timing that I came across you all. It
Mhm.
just pulled me, and I'm just like, these people they seem very legit. I see the reviews on it. See, they pay out very well. There's no sketching, no scamming, no
Are
nothing
you
like
in the
that. I was like,
Discord?
yes,
You're in the Discord? Okay.
yes.
Yeah, because there's a lot obviously going on in there where you can see, the payouts and all that and talk to other people. So I think that being in there is definitely like pretty important to figure it
Oh,
all
it's
out.
eye opening. It's eye opening. It's eye opening because a lot of people won't believe until they see it. That's
Yeah,
how I
and
look at it.
and that's like the biggest thing right now is especially with are you added in the funded trader group, like the private group or
I
whatever?
sent in a I sent in a ticket, but I don't think it got reviewed.
Yeah, I'll add you in there because that's kind of the best part about it, is the really just chatting with other people who have the accounts, right? So
Mhm.
part of all of this is it's on the internet. You're literally just sitting in your house. All of a sudden, you get a funded account. It's kind of hard to believe, in a way, that this is all
It is.
going on, and that other
It is.
people are out here making, like, the one person got 80K payout, like 20K payout. Like, it's hard to believe that these things are kind of going on. So that's why, obviously, being in the chat, and then you're maybe able to connect with someone else who has gotten a payout, whatever. And that makes things a little bit more, realistic as to, like, what's going on. And you're like, well, shit, I should keep pushing, keep going, because there's other people out here that kept pushing, and this is where they're at. It just makes
Exactly.
everything a lot more realistic, as opposed to, I know some of these groups, they don't have a community. Some do, which is great, but it's just, you don't really know what other people are doing, and it just leaves you in this, like, space of what's going on, which is not good.
Yeah, it's not good. They just leave you out to dry. Because I've been connected to some people on Instagram about forex, and they give you little tidbits here and there, but it was never like it was like a waste of their time because I guess they felt above everybody or
Right.
So I was like, you know what? I was just praying one day. I was like, man, God, just send me to the right platform because I know I don't have that capital that I want to trade with. But at the end of the day, he sent me to y'all, and I took the challenge probably about 3 times, 3 or 4 times. I think
Hmm.
I can't really remember. I failed them, but I never gave up. I never gave up, and I hear a lot of the traders who are funded now have the same testimony. It was like, yeah, I blown accounts, blown accounts, blown accounts. I'm gonna be honest. This past year, trying out different prop firms, no names. I probably wasted about about close to $9,000 to $10,000, in trying these challenges. So I was like, I yeah, I got frustrated. I got to the point where I was like, man, I'm never going to be able to do this. But I kept on pushing, and I'm here now, and I'm not taking it for granted.
Yeah, as you shouldn't. Because we talk to a lot of traders. Obviously, everyone on every single interview talks about how they've failed multiple challenges with, other firms, and then they kind of have that breakthrough, get the payout. And it's kind of like a risk reward, right? So you're obviously putting this investment into what you're doing, but the whole goal is to come out on the other side with the account, get a payout. And obviously, if you literally make 3% in the month, it's going to break even on the investment, whatever, depending on, obviously, what size that you do go for. So it's a very interesting, obviously, opportunity. It's one that being said, shouldn't be taken for granted. Like, you shouldn't just be buying accounts like it's water. You should be learning, right? From every challenge you take, you should be learning. And I mean, we've always, in the Forex League group, like our trading community, we always vocalize this. It's like, even before we kind of got involved with the funded trader and everything, it's like, if you're going to purchase an account and then you're going to fail, at least reflect on what you did, take some time off, whatever, before kind of jumping back into things, because that's just being unproductive. That being said, though, if you're taking maybe the smallest challenge every month, it's $300. I mean, it's at this point in time, the way that everything stands, it's more productive to buy a challenge than to put $100 in your trading account, right? $200.
Exactly.
It really is. I mean, if you're gonna put $300 a month, say you have a job, you have an extra couple $100 a month, you put it into the challenge account. If you pass, look at it like this: you make 10%, you make total 15%. So you pass phase one and two on a
Hmm.
$300 account. That's literally like $45, right?
Nothing.
It's literally yeah, it's literally $45. As opposed to, if you pay 315 past the 50K, you're getting access to the 50K account, and then the next month you do the same thing, or half of that, you make half of the previous month, you're gonna get paid out literally like 3 grand,
Three or
right?
4 grand. It's just like,
Yeah.
why not do it?
Yeah.
Why
So
not?
that's why we know a lot of people want the challenge sizes actually to be even smaller than they are now. A lot of people ask, could we get a 10K? Could we get a 25K? From our perspective, it doesn't make a lot of sense with what we're doing. We just don't really care about the smaller challenges. We're doing the 50K, we're doing the 100K, we're doing the 200. And I think it's kind of like when you're ready to take the 50, it's more beneficial for you guys to do that. I think doing the 10 and 5, it still wastes a lot of time. Like
It
it's not,
does.
yeah, it's a waste of time. So we're at the level where we want the 50 to be the lowest amount. And at that point, when you get the account, it really does become worth. I mean, you get one payout. There's like one person that's up like 15K on the 50 account right now, right? So
That's
there's
huge.
yeah, so there's a lot of opportunity to get up on those accounts as well. So, there's opportunity all across the board. Obviously, some people just go right for the 400. You went for has every challenge you've done been the 100K?
Yes, I did 150K because I was like, let me see if I pass it, but I failed it. But I was just happy to get my 100K in because I wanted to have that before years in. So with
Yep.
that being said, it just I did both challenges, both phases. I passed those in one day when I got the account. So
What was
um
kind of like the mentality of the one that you passed, the one challenge that you passed, what do you think went differently for you?
I took my time. I actually analyzed the charts. I didn't rush into a trade. I didn't, just jump out there and just drown like I've done previous times. That was my mistake. I had to say, you know what, let me take my time. Let me look at this chart. Let me study it. Let me analyze it. And then once I see the setup that I like, take it to trade. And then that's what I did. The previous challenges, I would just rush into it and then blow accounts, then get frustrated, and then get mad and just don't care to do it no more, than just go crazy. But this time I just took my time, pretty much. Just take my time.
Now, did you feel with that approach that you were running out of time at all, like within the challenge? Because I know you only have 35 days. A lot of people they communicate, "Oh, I feel rushed," this and that. Did that thought occur to you at all?
No, because you think about it, you have 35 days. So in those 35 days, if you got a 5 standard on there, you can make $1,000. And you think about it, you just do that 10 times, you got your account right there. So there's no need to rush it because 35 days is more than enough time. The market is going to go continuously up and down, up and down, up and down. It's never going to stop. So there's always going to be setup opportunities, and you don't have to rush it. I was just, grateful enough to where I saw a setup that I like, and I took it, and it went in my favor. But overall, when 35 days, there's no need to rush because that one setup can pass it for you that one time instead of you rushing, trying to get this set up, trying to get this set up, trying to get this set up, and then you fail and then you get mad.
Yeah,
Just take
I
the
think
time.
it's sort of it's like a mindset of abundance, right? There's more than enough time, there's more than enough sessions to trade, and kind of by
Mhm.
having that approach, that a positive approach to the challenge, you're not going to be pressured, you're not going to take something that you otherwise wouldn't have taken, and ultimately you're going to have the most success,
Exactly.
thinking that way. So to me that's interesting because obviously a lot of people complain about, oh, there's only 35 days, I'm going to run out of time. I mean, there are, looking at it in terms of like actual trading days, yeah, there's the weekends. You can trade crypto if you choose Nash. You can trade crypto on those, but even if you're just going to trade FX and commodities and indices, if you really take out the weekends, there's going to be about 27 solid days, 28 solid days that you can enter a trade. And obviously with the FX market, it's open 24/7. So I'm not going to count the Asian session because there's just not that much volume in that session, right? Not the
At
best.
all.
But yeah, but you got the London, you got New York, you have two sessions to trade in every single day. So you really have 54 sessions if you want to go about that way to really get in it and to take those trades. And if you only need about, in your strategy, 5 to 10 trades to pass, I mean, you've got more than enough opportunities to get in there and to make shit happen.
I'm glad you said that. And I always, and like you said, as I've seen many other traders, it comes down to, your mindset. You got to believe in it. You have to believe in it because if you don't believe in what you're trying to go after, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
No.
So the first thing you do, you got to believe. Second thing you do, you got to study. You got to put in the time. You got to put in. You got to get the experience under your belt. Third thing you got to do is you got to manage your capital. because
Right.
a lot of people they just want to just get $1 million off of a $10,000 account in one day. Good luck with that. It's not going to happen.
Right. Right.
So I'm just like, just take your time. It's more than enough sessions, more than enough time. It's not going anywhere. Study. The market's going to be there. It's going to give you a setup. Just wait for it. Take the trade, win the trade, get your challenge, move on.
Yeah. It's like, don't be
That's
greedy. And you
don't be
could
greedy.
really, like, I look at it like you assimilate it to sports, right? There's some teams that not that they're not worried about the regular season, they're not overlooking the regular season, but they know they're going to be in the playoffs, right? Like
They know it.
they're going for the championship. Like they know for a fact that they believe in their system and they're going to make it to the postseason, right? And it's all about in the postseason, what are we going to do that? And then there's some teams that always are making it to the championship, right? So it's the same way as some in the challenges. There's some traders that cannot pass the challenge, right? They can't get past phase one. They can't get past phase two. And it really just comes down to they don't have a good system. They don't believe in their system, right? They're just have a shitty strategy at the end of the day. And they're not getting over that psychological, like they're not in a winning mindset. And then there's some traders who are in the funded accounts that fail the funded accounts, right? They make it through, and then ultimately they blew the account, whatever, but they zip through the challenge because they're like, it's not about the challenge for me. Like I'm focused on the funded account. That's where
Exactly.
that's where I belong. And it's like the revenge tour of like, let me get this funded account again and let me run up the funded account, right? So it's just kind of two different mentalities going into it. I know when I originally started taking challenges, I actually had a lot of problems with getting over the hump of like passing them. And then once you kind of get through and pass them, you realize it's like you unlock the box, right? You start to
It
believe it's like
does.
you start to believe in your system and everything you're doing. I mean, some people need more of this than others, but it's a very psychological, it's very, mental, and you start to believe in the system a little bit more, it validates things. And then those results, that level that you couldn't hit before comes much easier. And then you're on to the next one, on to the next one. So I like that, you're big on the mentality of kind of the challenges and going into that because I'm seeing it all the time. I mean, I'm seeing funded traders, people that get the funded accounts, they either get a payout or fail. They will pass the challenge like it's nothing, right?
Like
And
it's
get another
nothing.
funded account. And then there's some people that take 15 challenges and can't pass. It's really crazy. And I think a lot of it comes down to obviously you need a good strategy, but a lot of it is mental. I see some people get to the line and then will just lose everything. Like they will
The
just come
whole
so close. Right? It's like it's just insanity. It's crazy,
It
but
is.
so
And
we don't currently have like, and I know some other firms do the psychologist and have like the trading psychologist, whatever. I think for us, we don't really have that. We're not worried about implementing that at this current time, right? But like you said before, I mean, you got to believe and you got to, at the end of the day, like strategize. You got to practice. So if you're not passing challenges, like take a step back and really like clear up. Don't take a step back because you suck. Like take a step back, reevaluate what's going on,
exactly.
and then come back with with confidence. And that the confidence comes from the practice, right? So
Yeah.
practice, come back with the confidence, and you'll do much better than just taking 5 challenges in a row without taking a break, whatever. It's just not going to work at the end of the day.
First what you said. You're gonna get burnt out, and then you're not gonna believe that you can do it. Then you lose out on a dream that you had that Forex can take you to.
Right.
That was my whole point. I was like, let me just take my time, take a step back, look at the market, and just really look at it. The market will tell you what it's doing every once in a while. It'll tell you. It just look at it, and then just take the trade. Don't panic. A lot of people panic. That's what I used to do. I used to panic. I used to get frustrated. I used to, go off on people because I lost money. I lost my challenge, and I'm just like, don't talk to me, whatever. I don't want to fool with you. Leave me alone.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I had to change this. All of my understanding was I have to change my mindset. I have to change my mindset because it all starts here. A lot of people say that, but you actually have to you have to go through growing pains. You're not going to learn things overnight. I
No.
want to learn Forex overnight. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You're going to have to get in there. I literally, from January the 1st until now, I would trade on demo every day. Every day I would trade to see different setups, to see how this would work, to see how money management was. I would do it because I'm like, I'm putting in all of this time. I'm not just gonna just throw this to the side. And I just wasted 2 years of my life, on something that I could have been doing other things. I'm like, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get this account, and I'm gonna live happily ever after. so,
No,
that's
to me, it makes sense. Like you kind of the first year, you're like, oh, I'm gonna be a millionaire, right? It's like, oh, I see all these
Mhm,
guys, I made $1,000 in a day. Now I'm gonna map out how do I make 1 million in a month. You know what I mean? It's all
mhm,
everyone's doing that, and it's just kind of human nature out here. The way that we're programmed with this
mhm.
money and shit. But I think like you really need to take a step back and do what you said. Like you need to have a more long-term approach. And at one point or another, you hit that point at which you're like, shit, nothing's been working. I got to get into the trenches and kind of do
Exactly.
this work as
Mhm,
humbly as I possibly can because there's
mhm.
nothing else to do at this point. Like I'm either going to give up or I'm going to find a way to make it work. And the only way to make it work is to do a lot of work that you don't want
That's
to do.
it. That's
Yeah.
it. You gotta put in your time. They say scared money don't make money. I'm going to, while I have the cushion to put into these preferences, I'm gonna do it because you never know what happened. Now look where I am. I have 100K account. My next goal, once my first payout hits, I'm gonna buy that 400K account, and I'm gonna pass that, and then I'm gonna combine the two. And then you gotta have goals. You gotta have steps. And I, they say you gotta write stuff down. Well, I really don't write it down, but in my mind, I write it down because I know step by step by step what I'm gonna do and how I'm gonna get there. I'm not just
Yeah.
gonna keep spending my personal money when I can use a prop firm's money, use that to get another account that I want, and then just go from there and just keep adding to my account.
Yep. Yeah. And if you don't have a plan, you're gonna plan to fail, right? They say
Exactly.
that it's the truth though. I mean, if you're not out here with a set plan, you don't have these goals, whatever, you're really shooting for nothing. And I'll say this because it does get to the point, like you're humble, you got your account. I mean, you've done enough work. Certainly you're going to be excited once you get this payout, right? Once you
Mhm.
get this payout, once you have this next account, it's certainly something to celebrate, but you're not going to be out here on the street jumping up and down, whatever, like nothing crazy, right? You're going to tell people maybe that are important to you what's going on, whatever. But like that's the difference between someone who's ready, for the opportunity is it's like you're expecting to be in a position. So you're not going to
Mhm.
boast about it, right? You're just going to humbly move into that this is the next phase that you expected to be in. And it's like if
Mhm.
ultimately the goal is to be here, why are we jumping for joy here, right? We got to keep always celebrate like those small steps. I'm never
Yeah.
like one to not celebrate, but it's like stay focused and don't blow up that account just because you were celebrating and then all your decisions are bad on that account. You let your end goal be here. That's what happened. And you celebrated too much.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's my
Yeah.
thing too. I'm glad you said that because you get distracted by that first goal and then you lose focus. You can be on this high horse, on winning streak. Oh, I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. And then boom, you come down. You know why? Because you didn't humble yourself. You didn't take your time. You didn't, like I said, you didn't humble yourself. And when you don't humble yourself, pride comes in and you think you're the big bad wolf, thinking you can't lose. And then boom, bye bye to your account
Yeah,
because
then the market comes in and is like, you're legit no one.
yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's just like, yeah, you thought you had us, not so. I
Yeah.
got you.
It'll
You know what
humble
I'm saying?
you,
So
man. This thing
quickly,
will humble you real
quickly.
quick. That being said,
Yeah.
what pairs do you trade out here?
Right now, I like GBP CAD. I don't know why, but I just really love that pair. It's just,
God
you know,
damn.
it for a low lot size, it gives you good reward.
Yeah,
It's
from
like
what I can remember, I used to follow that thing a lot and doesn't it move like crazy?
it moves like crazy. It's
Yeah.
like the NAS 100 of regular currency to
Yeah, yeah,
me.
because GBP AUD I know moves like crazy.
GBP, GBP, CAD, GBP, JPY. You know, I kind of stick with the GBP pairs because they gonna
Yeah.
give you the volume. You know,
Oh yeah.
so
Yeah, those pairs be moving like crazy. So you trade what, the New York, the London? What do you kind of
I trade
trade?
right now. I trade New York more, but I'm starting to get into the London session because I have to be at work at 5 in the morning. So I'll
Hmm.
be up at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, so I can still look at the trust and trade those. But my focus is kind of on the New York session because I can really just pinpoint where I'm trying to go to it.
Now, are you swing trading at all, or what's kind of your style?
I'm like a mixture of everything. It's like what the market gives me, that's what I'm gonna take. If I see a nice swing trade that's happening, I'll put it in a low lot size and I just ride it out. If I see a nice setup in the intraday, I'm gonna take that. Whatever the market gives me, I'm gonna take that because the market will switch open you in such a quick turn to where you got to go with the flow. Like you said, the trend is your friend. It is. You know, you
Oh
just got to
yeah.
find the right setups. You got to focus, and you just got to pinpoint where you're trying to go, and you'll get there.
So you were
I got
saying
there
you were saying before the call, when did you exactly did you get the account? What date?
today.
Oh,
Actually, today.
today.
Yeah,
Oh, so you
today
you
around three
you've been
o'clock this morning.
active. You've been a little
Yes,
active then.
yes, because I saw some pairs that I saw some pairs that I wanted to get into. I was like, man, I wish I can get it now because I see a nice pair setup that I want to get in. But like I
Yeah,
said,
we're gonna go ahead and pull up. I've got his
uh-oh.
account. Yep, I've got the account up here. We were chatting a little bit. So you made some progress here. You went up early in the day.
Yeah.
You've already taken a ton of trades
Yeah, I
out here.
did.
Yeah.
I was too anxious. I got you know, I was anxious because I've never been funny, but I had to step back and realize take your time. It's not going nowhere. It's no pressure. Take
Yep.
your time.
Yep. Yeah. See, 11 hours. My guys entered a million positions already.
I know. I was like, I don't want him to show that part, but hey, you got to get the good with the bad. You know, just I I'm human. You know, sometimes our emotions can get the best of us, but I'm glad I can catch mine in time to where I don't lose the
Well, you've
account.
arrived. You're here. You're trading some pairs. You got Euro GBP. You got Euro USD, NAS. You've got a bunch.
Yeah, I saw the NAS. I thought the NAS was going up. It did. I just got out of too early. I would have killed on that, but you know, I was like, you know what? Let me just stick with the pairs that I really want, which is the GBP CAD and GBP AUD. I just like the GBP pairs.
Now, when you're entering in on trades at all, are you using like a lot size calculator, or how are you calculating all that?
In my mind, because I've done demo so much, I can kind of I look at the spread count on the actual, charts, and then I go from there. I'm just like, okay, 50. You in my mind, I don't use a pip calculator. In my mind, I was like, I know what a $2 lot size can give me at the
Right.
end of the day. I know what a $5 lot size can give me. I'm Some people might say, hey, you crazy for doing that. I kind of know what works for me. You know,
Mhm.
I have to do what I feel is best for me. I can't follow you. I can't do what you do because I'm not a follower. I'm a leader. So I got to do my own thing. So with that being said, like I said, I made a lot of mistakes today, but that ain't happening no more. Cause like I said, you get anxious, you get something that you never had, you kind of get a little fidgety. You like, man, I want to make 20,000, I want to make 30,000. But I was like, you know what?
Isn't
Step
that
back.
crazy? Isn't that
Yeah,
crazy?
it almost got me. And I can be honest, I'm be straightforward. It almost got me. But you have to train your mind to put it, to let yourself know, hey, take your time. It's not going nowhere. The market will give you a setup that you want. Just go over the market, see what you see. If you don't see nothing, don't trade. Because no trade is a victory to you because you don't lose your account, So that's kind of how I'm looking at it now. Got close today, but we bounced back and we're gonna keep going forward now. I got out of that rough patch. That was a rough patch for me right there. But
Yeah, you
back now.
you came out the gates firing here. You had gold, bunch of trades going on gold. It looks
Yeah.
like earlier, and then you finished up with some gold trades. You made some on GBP NZD. Looks like in the
Hmm.
middle here, you took some losses on Euro GBP,
Yeah. That
a
what got
bunch.
me right there.
Yeah, you were in here heavy on buys. going in. So it looks like you had several orders on here. So yeah, man, just gotta clean it up a little bit and see how, obviously the rest of the month goes. We kind of chatted about this already. We're gonna come back. Hopefully, once you get the first payout, we'll be able to do the next interview and we can dive into the charts a little bit more, get into the strategy, what you're looking for. Definitely cool to hear the psychological aspect. I don't think anyone at this point is making it to the final stage without a solid, mentality going into this, especially since we're not really allowing the EAs and whatnot to go on. So that
Yes, sir.
obviously removes the whole psychological kind of aspect of trading because you just got to literally click the button and let it run. Right.
You
So
do.
this is a little different. That's why it's interesting right now because we got all really manual traders on here for the most part.
That's good
So
because they help you out in the long run,
yeah, so it's interesting, and I think once we get through this first month and you kind of let the nerves settle down, hopefully you get that first payout, we can hop back on, and yeah, we'll just kind of take it from there. I'll say this to wrap up the interview. How long have you kind of been with the Funded Trader? When did you kind of come into the Discord? About like a month ago or so?
Yes, about no, yeah, I said about a month ago, since September, end of September. I think that's when I bought my first account, if I'm not mistaken. September, October, one of them. Like I said, I found out about y'all like August, but I didn't
Okay.
buy my first account till like September or something.
Okay. So based on kind of what you've seen already from the Funded Trader, what's kind of some feedback, let's get some negative, some positive feedback going on the whole program. What would you like to see from us kind of moving forward? I know there's a lot of suggestions people are posting and whatnot. What's kind of one suggestion from you?
For me, I honestly don't have any negative feedback because what I've experienced in other prop firms, the funded trader is totally opposite. And I can just give this one example. I'm trying to keep it very short. As far as like the drawdown rule with other prop firms, once you reach that drawdown, let's say you got a 100K account, you reach a drawdown of 3,000, then you come back and you make a 7,000, that wipes out that 3,000, and then you'll just have a profit of 4,000 to where the drawdown is pretty much back at zero. Other prop firms, their drawdown will stay there, and you can't
Right.
regain from that. And that's why I was like, and that was the number one thing that I saw from the funded trader is that drawdown rule. I'm like, man, if I can just get past that drawdown rule, recover from it, then we're good. I placed the trade. Once I saw that I was in drawdown, say $1,000, then I made 2,000. I went back and saw that my drawdown was gone. I was like, oh yeah, I'm staying with them.
Yeah, that being said, the drawdown rule is dynamic, so it does erase if you do make some profit, before the day resets, which is obviously helpful. If you guys have any questions about the drawdown rule, there is a YouTube video posted. I run through a bunch of examples because it does get confusing. A lot of this stuff, a lot of the rules, a lot of things, especially if you're new, does get confusing. Is there anywhere, Brandon, that people can connect with you, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, if they want
Yes,
to reach out?
yeah, my Facebook is my name. My Instagram is my name. So, it's nothing different. You've got any questions, you want to reach out to me. Hey, just come to Brandon.p.boyd or Brandon Boyd on at Instagram or Facebook, whatever. You'll pull me up. I'm the one in the workout gear.
Yeah,
Let me
what we'll
say that.
do, I'll go ahead, I'll get your tag, whatever. I'll post it in the comments down below. And obviously, thanks for hopping on to the interview. It was a pleasure having you, and best of luck, moving forward.
Appreciate it, Angelo. Thank you for having me on, man.